That's why you got to put them in their place, and they get a little out of hand, but there's a mutual respect, and we have a blast, a lot of fun in those camps, clinics, and even in lessons. We talk about, I had a bad day at school. Well, you know what? That's life, and this is between the lines, and it's a different world when you're in the cage, when you're on the field, and you deal with that then. And Joe Paterno kind of taught me that, the white lines and in between, no matter what's going on outside, you have to put it aside, and this is your release between the lines.
You spent 10 years at Penn State. Obviously, most folks know that as a football school. Was there anything that you learned from the football program that you were able to institute in the baseball program?
I think, my years at Penn State taught me a lot about business, a lot about organization, a lot about being a head coach. I mean, I was more of a hands-on guy sitting in the cage with the hitters and getting inside their head, and then all of a sudden I'm more of an administrator. That wasn't me. I was trying to delegate, and I couldn't get myself away from the cages and working with the guys. That's one thing. Looking back, I'm thinking I was a great assistant coach, not so much a head coach. But I don't know. Going back to the question, I forgot. I lost track. But
just what are some of the things you learned from the football program over into baseball?
I learned a lot of business. Learned a lot of rules. Penn State went through a lot of stuff while I was there. Going through all that as a coach and having to help those kids.
The adversity that sports teaches us all.
Going through everything that the kids went through, the academics that the standards that they have. Just a lot of things that I'm probably looking back might not have been ready for as a head coach, but powered through them, with the help of the administration.
It's very rare to make it to any championship series or World Series. You did it 3 times at Oklahoma State. Take us back, those trips to Omaha back when you were playing at Oklahoma State. What was that like for you?
It was the way of life. We expected to be there. I didn't know anything else. My freshman year, Omaha. Sophomore year, Omaha. Junior year, Omaha. Draft. I mean, that's just the way it was. I think it might have been the first 3 years that Oklahoma State started making those runs. We didn't know anything different. And, our freshman class, John Farrell, Gary Green, there was a lot of major leaguers in that class. And we didn't know anything different.
The expectations were set high.
Yeah.
Every time you walked on the field.
We got a little ring my first year. We came in second. We got a tiny little ring. These kids, they come in 4th place and they get big monster rings in these youth programs. We got a tiny little ring that said Big 8 champs. That was it. And then after that, Gary Ward said, until we win a national championship, nobody's getting any more hardware.
I like that.
So we went to
no participation trophies.
No, we didn't get anything. Got a little wood bat from the Omaha people that said College World Series on it.
Well, hey, let's talk about your passion now. And earlier you mentioned, following your passion, leaving the Penn State, comfortable job as a head coach at Penn State. Your wife was the tennis coach there, working for a fine institution. And you follow your passion. That's just a lesson that anyone can take from Coach Wine, is do something that you're passionate about, that you get up every day. Sunday night you're looking forward to work. And working with those kids in Amarillo, Texas, it's awesome to see the difference you're making. I see it firsthand here at D-BAT, what you're doing with the kids in Amarillo, Texas, and developing those young athletes into, let's face it, they're probably not going to play Division I college baseball or the girls Division I college softball. But you're making them to better people, some of the lessons that they're learning by going through the program that you have there at D-BAT Amarillo.
Yeah, we try and cover it all. I'm telling you, it's like when somebody's walking in and we have windows and doors, we can see who's coming in, and we're ready for it when they enter. And oh, you're having a bad day today? What's the matter today? Oh, I'm stressing out from tests. You're in high school. You're stressing out from tests. Come on, get over that. We're in D-BAT now. Get a smile on your face. Find the energy. I tell our instructors, the energy is you provide the energy in a lesson, because it's half hour, half hour, and maybe the kid's not as good, but find a way to get him better that day, and that's the energy in those lessons. The next thing you know, 5 hours goes by, and you feel like you made a difference in their life.
Coach, what's one takeaway for a kid that maybe trying to crack into the lineup? They're playing 13U ball, summer ball somewhere, anywhere in the country. They're struggling, they're in and out of the lineup, and they're trying to break through. They're thinking about giving the game up and maybe starting to play golf or something else. What would you tell that kid that's tuning in right now?
I think the biggest thing is accountability. And if you strike out, it's not the umpire's fault. It's not anybody else's fault. It's not the coach's fault. It's your fault. If you lose a game, the team lost the game. Why? And really just get real about this and understand that it's not someone else's fault all the time. And I stop that right there every time with that umpire thing. Well, I struck out, but the pitch was, 4 inches out. No, you struck out. Accept it and move on. It's okay. It's just the way it is. There's bad umpires, good umpires. But I think that thing, man, with a lot of it, there's so many built-in excuses that I know my people understand. They know better than to come in and say something like that. They'll stop and look at me. And I go, well, you caught yourself, didn't you? And,
accountability,
like you said,
that.
changing teams and all that, and I understand from a parent standpoint. I have an older son that went through all that, and it's so frustrating and hard. But I remember me and John Farrell, our sons played on the same team in Stillwater, and we would go out in left field and just get away from it all. And because it is crazy. And, Mike Matheny, he's here talking. Mike was a catcher with the Brewers when I was with him, and I want to catch up with him. But he wrote that book about, what was the name of it? He wrote a book about youth baseball. And, I mean, he hit it right on the head with his. That's kind of where I'm at on everything, and all the parents I talk to, they understand, and they know that we're in it for what's best for the kids, and we're going to do what's best for the families, and I guess there's a sense of I can back off. It's taken care of.
Coach Robby Wine, thank you so much for being on a segment of Behind the Dish and all you're doing for baseball, not just in Amarillo, Texas, but all over the country. You've impacted a lot of kids, and we applaud all that you do.
Thank you. I hope we keep doing it.
Hey everybody, my name is Kyle and I'm the producer for Behind the Dish with John Piper. We want to partner with you to spread the love of baseball and the life lessons that go with it to you and your friends. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.